Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a wee while since I put out any content. I've just been a bit busy recently with the studio and stuff and getting ready for Christmas. But I thought I would share with you my latest bargain purchase that I kind of came across by accident or by chance really at my local guitar store. And it's from a brand that's fairly new as far as I can gather. Their guitars have changed slightly since when they first came out, have improved slightly since they first came out anyway. And it's this guitar right here, which is by a brand called Jet. Now this is a brand I'd never actually heard of before. My local guitar shop just started stocking them fairly recently. They do basically Strat copies, normal SSS configurations like this. They do HSS Strats. They do Telecasters, so that's mostly what they do is Strat and Telecaster copies. So I tried one of the Telecasters and I was immediately struck with how nice the neck felt. Now the neck in all their models is this lovely roasted maple. It's got a nice satin finish, and when I love the colour as well, because this sort of Daphne blue colour is my favourite Fender colour, and I noticed that they use that in quite a few of their models. The Telecaster that I tried felt really pretty good that day, and when I seen this I thought I would give it a chance and pick one up and see how it went. Now the amazing thing about these guitars is that they actually only cost £149, which is ridiculously cheap, and you would usually expect at that price that it's probably not going to be very good. And although they have cut corners on certain things, in terms of the hardware and stuff like that, the actual fit and finish and build quality of the guitar is actually, in my opinion, I would put it on a par with a classic Vibe Squire out of the box. Possibly taking into account the roasted maple neck and how good they actually feel, possibly slightly better in some respects. Not quite as good as a classic Vibe in terms of the pickups and stuff, which I changed anyway, and I'll explain that in a minute. I probably should have done this demo before it was modded, but I still think it's valuable to let you hear or let you see how it is, in case you're thinking about getting one, because I would imagine most people that buy one of these will probably want to upgrade it. But at £149, it's unreal for what you get for your money. Now usually if you buy a Squire or a Strat copy at that price, or a cheap end, a low end Squire which is about that price, you usually get a thinner body. The neck's never usually anywhere near as nice as something like this. And it's usually alright, but this thing here has actually got, for what I can see, I compared it with my Ventera Strat and it's the same thickness of the body. So you're actually getting a full thickness Strat size body. The neck, as I say, is glorious. It's this lovely roasted maple. Now you get them with rosewood boards on them as well, so they actually do rosewood, whereas a lot of the, like say Squire and stuff, are using Indian laurel, and even in Mexican Fenders you're usually getting that pal ferro, but they're actually using maple, as I say, the roasted maple, which I've got here, and rosewood. You're getting a bone nut as stock as well. What else have we got here? You've got your normal 6-point tremolo on there. Again, the hardware as stock is functional. I mean, you're getting a full size trem block in there, which is nice. It's also the full thickness as well. The tuners that come with it are just normal sort of standard tuners you would find in a Squire or something. And the electronics that come stock in it is just your normal small, like the wee pots that you get, the miniature pots. And the stock pickups are ceramic pickups. But if I'd actually thought to do this when it was still in stock form, they actually sound not too bad, to be fair. They're not any worse than anything else at maybe the £300 price point, maybe even more. But in terms of the fit and finish, these guitars really are very, very nice. I don't see any imperfections on the body, the finish. I'll try and show you close here, the neck pocket and stuff. Everything's really neat, and it's hard to really convey how nice the neck feels without actually feeling it properly, but I'll let you see it there. And the fretwork is really nice as well, and it actually feels as if the frets have actually been, the board has actually been rolled slightly. which is really comfortable and really nice, and certainly punches well above its weight at this price point. So the things I found that needed to be changed in it was the tuners, which were functional as I say, but they really were not very good. I'm used to having good quality locking tuners, especially in something with a tremolo on it. So I upgraded them to Goto locking tuners, which is what I do with most of my guitars anyway. Also fully shielded the guitar as well, so just the copper shielding taped them to ground. I do that with most other guitars anyway, and I had to do it recently with my Vintera Strat as well, so that's nothing unusual for guitars even that are more expensive. It's just something that I do as standard. Again, you probably don't have to do it, but it's just something that I do on all my guitars. I'll put a few pictures up of stuff that I did in the process that I did in. The biggest upgrade that I made to this guitar is I put in Fender Custom Shop 69 pickups and replaced the electronics. Because the guitar, initially when I got it, I was never really intending to do that much work or spend that much money on it, but it's just so nice and feels so good to play that I thought, you know, if I put the money into this guitar and change these bits, I'll be as good. If it's as good as, I would put it now, as good as or on a par or as enjoyable to play as my Vintera Strat, which cost a lot more money. So for £149 though, I really honestly, I mean, I don't know, I think they only sell right now in Europe and the UK. I don't know if they've got a distributor in the US yet or whether they're even planning on selling there. But I will be amazed if these guitars don't eventually go up in price. Now I don't know if the 149 price tag is an introductory price, I really don't know, but for £149 the neck alone is probably worth that money. And as everything, just to remember as well, everything that I feature on this channel is just stuff that I've bought and all, and there's no companies giving me stuff to plug, or I'm not getting paid for anything. I just do this for fun and maybe to help some people as well. So I highly recommend checking these guitars out, because I think anybody who tries them, especially for the price point, will be blown away for what you get for your money. For what it's worth, I'll run through a few sounds as well, like hear how it sounds. It's not going to be the same as it would as stock, because obviously I've changed the pickups and a couple of other hardware changes as well. But even without that, for £149, full size Strat body, lovely roasted maple neck, and it really does play. The fit and finish is just really, really nice. Now, the only thing I would say as well, to pick out small things, is the frets needed a wee polish when I first got them. Although to be fair, the last time I got a Bullet Mustang, the frets were really scratchy and they needed polished and sanded and polished. These weren't as bad as that, but they did need a wee polish when I first got them. I dare say if you were to really look close, you might find, I mean, there's one wee line here, a slight imperfection on the edge of the board at the 18th fret or something. I don't know if you'll see this in the video. It's tiny, it's just like a line. It's almost just like a wee mark. I don't even know if you'll see it in this. You don't feel anything, but there's a wee tiny line there, which I suppose if I was really picky I would pick that out as being an imperfection, but it's very, very small and it's only cosmetic. Other than that, I don't see any other flaws with this guitar at all. And I think if you were thinking about picking up a cheap Strat or a cheap telly to upgrade to your own specifications, I mean, even especially the neck, I mean, I'm in love with this neck. It just looks so good and it feels great. But if that was what you're planning on doing, definitely check out these guitars. I mean, I know when new guitars like this come on the market and it's an unknown brand, people can be a bit cagey, and I was a bit cagey as well. But it wasn't until I went and actually tried one, I thought this neck feels really, really nice. And I'm so glad that I actually chose to buy it, and I'm almost tempted to snap up another couple of their models at this price, because I'm convinced they will go up. So I'll fire through a few tunes anyway, a few tones in the guitar, and let you hear how it sounds. And it's upgraded for them. But even stock, there's other videos on YouTube I'll let you hear how it sounds stock, and it still sounds nice. But my main thing about this is the core of the guitar, the bones of the guitar, are well worth the £149. And probably would be worth more, but that's what they're charging right now. So I highly recommend checking these out. And I would take this over any Squire Strat, right up to the classic Vibe range. I would take this before any of them. So anyway, here's a few tones, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, check these out because I highly recommend them. And just for reference as well, this model is called the JS-300. The telly one is called the JT-300. You also get the JS-300. The telly's a JT-300. This is a JS-300. You get the JS-350. JS-400, so there's kind of specs that go further up and the price sort of increases slightly. So you've got an HSS version, you've got a slightly higher version that's got lock-in tuners as well. So there's a few different ranges on there, but this is just the basic version, which I modded myself. And as I say, for £149, this is an absolute steal. So until I get something else that I think is worth showing you guys, that's me till the next time, and I'll catch you again. See ya.